when you have the interest rates are 6, 7, 8, it just doesn't really work out unless you have some sort of creative way to add value. So here's where this is what I'm seeing is, and you have sellers that, so if you can't get your price, you get your term. And if you can't get your terms, you get your price. So we have sellers that still want their price. So I'm like, I'll give you your price, but you have to give me my terms. So there's seller financing out there. So we're working deals where we have seller financing, where we can get 5, 6% interest. It may be interest only for a couple of years, and then lock it in for 5 years because and this is, I find it interesting, but this is just the facts, what I've run into. You have these 80-plus-year-old sellers, and they don't want to get a big tax hit. On top of that, so they want to get paid slowly over time, which you think, how much time do you have? But that's not my call, that's theirs. But this is what I'm seeing is because of interest rates and because they want to sell and they don't want to get the tax hit, seller financing, man. And so like, I'll pay you, I can give you whatever. If you're like, I want $10 million for this, I can, like, to me, $10 million, $6 million, whatever the value is, it's not as big a deal as what are the terms. Like, I'll pay you $10 million. I need a 1% interest with 1% down. You can make the terms really easy. And if it's a long-term hold and you have the right strategy, then it makes sense, especially in a high inflationary, that's another thing too. We know inflation is only going to grow. So in the next 2 years, my prediction would be is that because interest rates were so low, how long has it been? 10 years. There's been a lot of building and stuff in multifamily and conversions like what I do. And so we're having a dump of all the new units. So this year and next year, rents will probably flat, maybe even go down. And of course, every market's different. But by 2026, my prediction is, because all that construction and new stuff and conversions has stopped.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just seeing the overflow, and then that's gonna wind down by 2025. So 2026, 27, 28, 29, it's gonna be, rents are just gonna start going up and up and up. And so the people that can get in now and buy the right stuff now, we're gonna look really smart in 2027. Make sense?
That
So
makes sense. So would you agree? It sounds like in a way you're saying that there's some pain for the owners of those properties if they wanted to sell because the market environment isn't easy for them to sell those properties. And so there's some pain on those, which
yeah,
allows you the opportunity to provide some reprieve from that pain, if not by giving them the price they want, by negotiating terms that are acceptable. They otherwise might not be willing to entertain if it was a low interest rate market and they were able to get a buyer at their price.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's similar to probably what other agents that are single family only agents that you're seeing in the housing market. Can you get the prices that we got in 2020? I don't think it's the same. But it depends on which sector of the market. There's still buyers out there. Like, I know in Durango, 500 to 600,000. That's where vast majority of people want to buy. But there's very low inventory. But then somebody who's 1.5 million, or higher, those sales have slowed down a lot because that's expensive.
So how would you talked about having spent a decade kind of learning some of these lessons? And so what are some of the things, do you think it would have taken you going back? Do you think you could have done what you did in less time?
Absolutely. The biggest mistake I made in scaling, and I still have issues with scaling because I was having coffee with a guy and he was talking, he wanted to talk to me about maybe selling one of my properties. And I was like, I have 331 units. And he's like, I have 30,000. So, it depends which pond we're looking at. I'm a small fish or a big fish, but I guess I've done more than most people have done in multifamily. In a place where I've completely, I don't need All my passive income that's all. I've completely replaced any kind of earned income I need to
Mhm.
make.